You two were supposed to train the dog. Shush!
You're just gonna come home one day and the dog will be gone.
And so will you.
I feel like there's more going on here than meets the eye. Sit down. Sit down, Pete. Sit down.
I think Victoria was about ready to jump out of the chair and choke me and to lay me out.
Don't laugh. Quiet. Quiet.
I can't see us living without Pete, but there's times where I just want to kick him out the door.
It is despicable, and if I saw you do it, I would have you arrested.
My name is Kelly. I live here with my husband, Peter, my son, Sean, my son, Petey, and my daughter, Caitlin.
We have 2 dogs, Princess, a Rottie Pit, and Brooke, a Pit Bull.
Princess is very fearful of people. She runs and hides under the table, and she just doesn't go near anybody.
If you're not gonna take care of the dog, it's done.
Why isn't it both your
I'm
responsibility?
focusing on his responsibility for the dog.
We're not getting the idea here. The idea was you two were supposed to train the dog. Shush!
Brooke started out chewing up the furniture, chewing up phone charges.
Video games. The bunk beds cost me about $800. You can see the damage. One more thing. I find chewed, something chewed, I gotta replace something, it's gone.
My dad threatens to get rid of Brooke all the time.
You gotta help us. Otherwise, the dog's gonna be gone.
Pete wants the dog gone because Sean refuses to walk them. I was deemed temporary, totally disabled. I can't go outside with the dogs. I can't walk them.
I'm not losing Brooke like that.
Then what do you have to do, Sean? Do you want your dog?
Yes, I want my dog.
You're gonna come home and your father's gonna take the dog to the shelter and she's gonna be gone.
Regardless of how Kelly feels about the dog, how the children feel about the dog, if the dog can't get trained, she's gonna be gone.
What was the agreement that we made when we got this dog?
Me and you would train the dog?
Okay, then don't worry about me. What about you?
My father does not help out with the dogs. He would just sit there and yell at them.
No! Get down! Drop. No. No. Back up. Back up.
I'm not afraid of him yelling at me. I've been dealing with it the last 5, 10 years of my life.
She ran out to the street.
I think she's just too weak.
I just want the dog gone.
Hello.
Victoria?
Well, hello.
Come on in. Hi, I'm Peter.
Nice to meet you, Peter. Nice to meet you.
Come right on
Hello.
in.
Hello, lovely.
This is Brooke.
Oh, Brooke. Oh, my gosh. Hey,
Kelly.
hello. Nice to meet you,
Hi, I'm
Kelly.
Sean.
Hi, Sean. What's happened to your knee?
I got hurt on the job. I'm an EMT.
How did you hurt it?
Lifting a patient.
Since Kelly can't really do anything, I basically take the brunt of the cleaning.
Pete is working all day, all night. Doesn't help much around the house. It makes me feel sad.
Do you work?
Yes, I'm operations manager for a restaurant.
Okay. And how long do you work for during the day?
About 12, 14 hours, 6 days a week.
Who walks the dogs then?
It's supposed to be Sean, but he doesn't.
All right.
It was supposed to be mine and my mom's and my father's job, but my mom got hurt, so she can't do anything anymore.
Did they not get exercise at all?
They go out in the backyard.
I don't think the couple realizes just how much these dogs need to be outside. They need to be played with. They need to be walked for hours a day. Are there arguments in this house over the dogs?
Huge arguments. He's selfish.
Chaotic.
Who's selfish?
Pete
You're
is.
Why do you say that?
Because it's whatever he wants, that's the way it is, and he doesn't help. It's what he wants to do first, and he doesn't consider anybody else before that.
I'm not home all the time. When I come home, I like the house clean. I have a high standard.
Okay.
And screams a lot.
You scream.
Yeah,
a lot.
I scream at them.
Why do you scream? Is it because you... Why do you scream?
I just scream. Don't know why.
One thing that you can put into your brain, store away, lock up, is that all the shouting, all the fighting really affects the dog in a stressful way, both dogs. And you know, one of the reasons why dogs chew is because they get sometimes upset.
The way I feel about Brooke, it's really hard to explain. I really don't feel like I have time at all for the dogs.
Have you ever wanted these dogs gone?
Not the 4 of us. I have the sweetest dogs in the world, and I don't want to have to get rid of them.
You
I
have?
have Brooke, all the destruction that she's done and the money that I've spent over the past year replacing everything.
Can you show me some of the destruction?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
I will definitely will. I did say I would help train the dog, but after the money and the chewing and then the destruction, I washed my hands with the dog.
Peter says he's going to participate in training the dogs, but I don't believe him at all. He is very unemotional, and he's put this huge wall up that's very difficult to break down.
The reason why Princess doesn't come near you is because when she was first home with us, you beat her up.
What did you do? When you say beat Princess up, what did you do?
She came at me.
She never came at you.
No, she came at me.
She never came at you.
What did you do to
I
her?
popped her in the nose, right in the snout. And then
He
since then
kicks
she
the
hasn't.
dogs, he punches dogs.
You do.
He's kicked
Oh,
Brooke in the
good.
ribs.
I'm not a violent person, but if I saw Pete doing what I hear he does to his dogs, I would take him down. There is nothing worse, I tell you, than somebody that takes out all their frustration on vulnerable beings. You kick dogs, you do that kind of thing. I don't care whether you tapped her on the nose, you hit her on the bum, you kicked her in the ribs, whatever.
It's abuse.
It is absolute abuse, and you know, it is despicable. And if I saw you do it, I would have you arrested. I would have you arrested for abuse. I would do that. The way he interacts with his dogs and his family are going to have a real influence on their behavior. So I wanted to try an experiment. Sit down. Sit down, Pete. Sit down.
Go on, go.
What did I tell you? Sit down. Sean, stand up. Stand up. Don't laugh.
Don't laugh.
Don't
She's
laugh.
being serious.
Did I tell you to speak? Quiet. Quiet.
It reminds me of my dad.
Does it? I don't think I need to hammer it home to Pete anymore about how his behavior is affecting his family and his dogs. If he doesn't get it by now, after everything I've said to him, he's never gonna get it. The way this family speaks to each other is in a heightened all the time. Get off, do this, yeah, yeah, yeah. And that, I think, it stresses out your dogs. I think Pete not only needs to learn a bit of positive reinforcement with his dogs, but also with his children and with his wife. I want you to try and do with your dogs, instead of shouting at them, it's just almost fueling the fire.
Okay.
Because, you know, dogs are very good hearing. You don't need to shout at them, because they can hear really well. Here's what I want you to try do. Let's say Brooke gets on the couch. I don't want you to say, off. I want you to say, off. Caitlin, off. Good, good, excellent. Okay, I've said it. Can you now instill the new rules about how you're gonna discipline the dogs?
Absolutely.
I didn't see what was going on in my own home. With Victoria coming in, she opened my eyes to everything.
Peter hasn't really done what is needed to help his family.
You're just too weak.
So I've got to get through to him somehow, before it's too late. I want to introduce you to Kathy and Carrie. Carrie is the therapy dog, the Good Dog Foundation. And I also want to introduce you to Juliet, who is a social worker. She specializes in the human-animal bond. I wanted them to speak to you a little bit about what our own dogs can do for us in our homes. I'm hoping that I can show Peter how dogs can really be part of his family's healing process rather than the dogs being just a source of stress.
We work with a lot of people to help people reduce their stress through the dogs, and it sounds like there's a lot of stress in your house.
I have an immense amount of stress.
Yeah, if you can look at your dog as someone that can help you with that, and it's amazing just sitting and petting a dog, how calming it is.
Are you willing to reconnect? Because remember I said, when a dog has a fear memory, that is imprinted in the brain forever. Are you going to be able to transform yourself?
Yes, I am.
I finally get to see my father's soft side, which is very hard to see. He's always in this grumpy, moody mood, frustrated, angry. Then again, people change and he's changing, which is awesome.
The volume in your home is very big. Everybody communicates by shouting.
No, Get down!
You communicate with your dogs by shouting, Pete. But I love being able, my dog's focus to come onto me and for them to listen to me with me just saying, come to me, sit, watch me. That's all I need to do. Would that be strange for you to do that?
Very. I'm gonna change everything. I'm gonna change everything around. The way I act, the way I speak to Kelly and the kids and the dogs.
Really, ever since I've been at your house, I've never seen you, maybe pet the dog once. Do you want to meet her? Do you want to meet this
She's
one?
very nice and pleasant.
I don't think Pete's a bad man at all. I think he doesn't deal with stress very well. But I hope he's taking everything in, because ultimately, it's going to make his life a lot easier.
Hi. 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 That's fine. Hi. Yeah, you're very nice.
It was pretty emotional, and I finally get to see my father's soft side. That's the first time, and I'm not gonna forget it.
I want you to have this feeling with your own dogs.
Feels good.
Good. Thanks for watching. If you love It's Me or the Dog and want more dog training tips and tricks, visit my official site, positively.com. And if you're interested in learning more about becoming a dog trainer, check out the Victoria Stilwell Academy. Links to both sites are in the description. I'll see you online.